LeBron, I guess this would fit into the keeping the main thing, but AD said that you were joking about you having to stop setting milestones, breaking records because they keep coming in losses. Is that always kind of going through your mind? Is it you hit one, but it's not the main thing you're trying to do that night?
Well, I mean, obviously, I'm never thinking about a milestone when I'm out there battling, but when it happens, obviously we acknowledge it, and obviously, much respect and much loyalty to the Laker fan base for showing me that love during the timeout, and being the first player to do something that's pretty cool in this league, because you just know the history, you know the greats that's come through the leagues, and then you see some of the greats on the floor tonight. It was just great to compete versus that. So, but for me, the main thing is always the main thing, and that's to win. And I hated that, had to happen in a defeat, especially versus a team that, plays extremely well basketball, and we played some good basketball tonight, but wasn't able to close it out. So, bittersweet. But I enjoyed every moment tonight, though, while on the floor.
Yeah, LeBron, because of what you were just talking about, are you more angry or frustrated at the results this evening?
I mean, obviously a little bit of both. I mean, but I've calmed down, obviously, since the game ended. I had an opportunity to just relax in my locker, and shower, recalibrate, whatever the case may be. I just want to be better. I just want to figure out a way how we can be better versus this team. They have our number. We haven't beat them in quite a while, and it's always kind of the fourth quarter, either the last 6 minutes or the last few minutes of the game where they make plays, we don't make plays, and that can be frustrating and in its own right.
You guys were up 110, 108 with about 4 minutes left, and then Denver took over from there. Pre-game, Darvin mentioned, their fourth quarter late game packages AD talked about before. Just what makes it so challenging to find answers to their offense late, even after seeing it as many times as you guys have?
Because they have 5 threats on the floor at one time, and their biggest threat can do everything, and that's in Joker. That's what makes it very challenging.
LeBron, before the game, Michael Malone was talking about you and was talking about making other players around him great, or your ability to do that, and segued into talking about Jokic's ability to do that. It felt like you guys did a pretty good job on him in the first half, but you look at the stats, plus 16, I think, almost another triple-double. Is there an answer for him? Have you seen one? Or
No, there is no.
I guess how many other guys in the league are there that are unanswerable in that way?
Joel, Joker, Luka, Giannis, Steph, KD. Just to name a few.
Hi, LeBron. Congrats on 40K. The Lakers hosted a girl dad night tonight, and so I was wondering, out of all the moments in your career, is there any that's been the most special because you got to spend it with your daughter?
I mean, it's definitely special. When I looked up there in the stands and seen her sitting up there, and when the 40,000 point mark hit, definitely looked up there at my wife and looked at my daughter and my mom, and my daughter was just clapping and like pumping her arms up in the air. So that was a super cool moment. Blew her a kiss, she blew one back to me. So that's super cool for sure. She's the best. Definitely a girl dad, and happy she's a part of the family. She runs everything. So what Z says goes in our household for sure.
LeBron, do you think there's any other current player that's gonna retire having hit the 40K mark? And if not, do you think it will ever be done again?
I have no idea. Obviously, you have to play the game quite a while and have some good luck as far as injuries and things of that nature. You have to take care of your body. You have to be present on the floor, and then you have to be productive as well. Obviously, we have a lot of great guys in our league that can score the ball, and if they were to stay healthy and they would play a long time, then they can eclipse it. But you can't account for what could possibly happen. So I can't sit here and say, who would it be in our league today? And then records are always meant to be broken. You can never say never of any record. you know, at one point we said that, you know, Big O's triple-double record would never be broken, and Russ did it, and now it looks like, you know, Joker and Luka, they're doing it every night. You know, it's just certain things that you don't think that's going to happen, but you know, I guess for years people said Kareem's record wouldn't be broken, and I was able to eclipse it. But you know, you have to, like I said, you have to have some really good luck. You have to, you know, play the game at a high level for a long time, but we'll see.
LeBron, I know you guys are still navigating injuries and different lineup and rotational stuff, but this starting lineup played against the Nuggets in the conference finals, started against them for a couple of games. Do you feel like you've sensed some progress with at least that unit in terms of just having reps against them and continuing to kind of grow on both ends?
Yeah, I think our starting lineup has been done. We're playing some good basketball, and obviously we want to get our full lineup. It's not about just our starting lineup. It's about everybody that comes in the game and getting everybody back in rhythm. You know, getting Spence acclimated to what we're doing, get him in a rhythm. Obviously, it's only a couple games since Cam been back, so we're trying to get him back into a rhythm. You know, so, and the rest of the guys, you know, so, you know, we still missing obviously some key guys, especially, you know, Vando and Seawood, and, you know, you know, so, you know, Gabe obviously has not played, you know, since early in the season, so we hope to get him back soon to see what we can be, you know, what could possibly be done. But you know, it's not just about the starting lineup. Obviously, we harvest a lot of big minutes tonight, but we play well while we're on the floor together, and just want to try to continue to complement one another.
Last three: Crystal, Melissa, Tim.
Hi, LeBron. Congrats on 40K. Despite the loss tonight, you scored half of your points, 13 of the 26 in the fourth quarter. As of late, what is working for you offensively so well late in games?
I mean, I love the fourth quarter. That's always been like my favorite part of the game, obviously, especially when it comes down to crunch time and just trying to make plays. You know, I had a couple opportunities even, you know, to make even more plays, but wasn't able to capitalize on it. But you know, it's the start of the third. I mean, it started the fourth quarter was I believe 89-89, and you know, I'm checking back in, and you know, I love that moment. I love, you know, it just goes down to the last 12 minutes who can make the most plays. If I can implement my, you know, my imprint on the game for the last 12 minutes. Like I said, I was able to make a couple plays, or you said, you know, and I was able to make a couple plays, but obviously not enough for us to be victorious, which is most important.
Hey, Bron. When you became the all-time leading scorer, you almost seemed surprised by how much it hit you in that moment. Has it hit you just how much sustained excellence it takes to reach 40,000?
No, it has not. Don't know when it will or if it will ever. Because I just always I just play the game, and I just approach the game every day. I come to work, I prepare, I prep. Mentally, physically, spiritually, every single night when it's time for me to play, and I just try to go out and contribute, and I've been able to do it for, you know, 21 plus years, or 20 plus years, including this year, and I just, you know, if I'm on the floor and I feel, you know, pretty good, I feel like I can make plays. I can make plays to help us win. I feel like I'm, you know, still a threat out on the floor, and you know, and still able to do the things that I was doing 10 years ago, or I mean, some of the things I was doing 20 years ago. You know, which is weird to say, but you know, just this thing I just put, you know, a lot of things that don't, you know, that's not shown, you know, behind closed doors, and you know, when the cameras are not rolling, which is very rare with me. The cameras are always kind of following me, so but I'm just always just, you know, keeping the main thing, and that's, you know, protecting my body, protecting my mind, and then going out and just pouring it all out on the floor for my teammates, for myself, you know, and see what happens with the results.
Hey, LeBron, there's a commercial in which you talk to your younger self. In reality, what would you tell 18-year-old LeBron about the journey to becoming an Olympic gold medalist, a four-time champion, and now scoring 40,000 points?
I wouldn't tell him anything, honestly, because 18-year-old LeBron had a great head on his shoulders. He just did. He was put in a position where I wouldn't wish too many 18-year-old kids to be put into. But he just had his head in the best possible position. He was raised the right way by his mother. He was raised the right way by his Little League coaches. He was held accountable by his friends. He met a young lady in high school that held him down as well. And then he just told himself, if you want to make a real name for yourself and your last name and your family and your friends and your city, the only way it's going to happen if you just stay focused and maintain focus and put in the work. Besides my family and my friends and my city, and then some people in my city as well, because we even know some of them people, to be quite honest with you, everybody wanted to see me fail when I got to the league. Everybody was just like, it's no way he's going to be able to exceed, the expectations that's put upon him. There's no way. I seen, for the first time in a long time, I seen a commercial that was played before my first game. And when I rewatched it today for the first time, I was like, I think they was mentioning like all the greats that ever played the game of basketball. I think it was like Big O and Michael and Kareem and Kobe, and I forgot who all else was in that commercial, whatever the case may be. Could be wrong about some of the names that I mentioned, but it was, and then it was like, and the next one, LeBron James, and I didn't even see that commercial when it happened, but I was like, watching it today, I was like, what the hell? Like that expectation on an 18-year-old kid, like that was insane to just think about it. And I was watching it today, I was like, I wish that on no kid in no sport to have this type of pressure put on them, and everybody wanting to see you fail. So I wouldn't tell that 18-year-old kid nothing. I would tell him just to do exactly what you're thinking, no matter what. Just stay true to yourself, believe in yourself, and don't ever get too high. You get too high, they're gonna try to knock you off. But at the same time, if you fall, just like the great later Leah said, just pick yourself up and try again. And I've done that in my career. Appreciate it.
Anthony, Denver's clearly proven to be a difficult matchup. Going back to the Western Conference Finals last year, these two home games, you guys have been right there and they've taken it late. What do you take away as you enter now this next stretch of games from the matchup versus Denver, and what about it do you think is something you guys can move on from and assign it to this specific matchup?
Well, first we gotta move on from it. We play every other night, so been ready for a high OKC team. Sac, Milwaukee, all these guys, but the game for them is always one of the last 2-3 minutes of the game. Same action, and they put us in limbo a lot of times with our helps. We had some unfortunate plays. Braun gets stripped, I get stripped. Aaron Gordon gets the rebound, long rebound, turnaround three. Austin shots to help, and Justin Holiday hits a three. So it's like some tough plays for us, but the last couple minutes, they get to their fourth quarter package, and we're either over helping or not helping enough, and it seems like this team is the one who always make us pay off our mistakes.
AD, you mentioned the fourth quarter package last time. I think you called it the Peja actions. Darvin talked pregame about how you guys went over all that and tried kind of preparing for it. Where do you feel like the breakdowns? I mean, is it, you mentioned the overhelping, like kind of knowing it's coming, you guys were prepped for it, but it still happens. I guess how do you kind of assess that?
Well, I think tonight, Cam was in action, Austin and Rui, and they were going to like a double screen. And Cam was just so far behind, because the guys were screening. Rui's trying to help, stay attached to Jokic, and, I'm the help guy. And so when I see, Jamal Murray comes off and he's, open, obviously he's a hell of a basketball player, so you don't want to give him any looks. Because those are two guys who they look for, him first and then Jokic, and vice versa. So try to help, then they hit Jokic, and then Jokic is hitting Aaron Gordon, on the dunk, or he's hitting, their shooters on the weak side. So, just something that, we got to, really go into depth about, we're going to see this team again, and it's not going to be the last time that they get to that package. So, we got to look at the film and see, what happened, and kind of just dissect it and try to get prepared for the next time we see them.
AD, you just mentioned you guys won't be able to see Denver again, at least for the rest of the regular season. I guess how can you take away the lessons from this game and apply it to the next 21 games that you guys have left?
Teams are watching film, which I'm pretty sure they are. You're going to try to exploit the same thing. I think we just got to lock in defensively and try to figure out ways that we can be better. On both ends on the floor, honestly, not just the defense end, but offensively, getting to, a package where we can execute, the pick and roll with AR and Bron we've been getting to lately, or if it's D'Lo and Bron, because a lot of teams, the big guys don't want to leave my body, so now they're walking to the rim for layups, especially in the fourth quarter. So, but on the defensive end, like I said, we got to look at it and try to figure out, ways that we can be better.
AD, LeBron's at 40,000 points. Do you think the person, or is there a person that can pass that? Have we seen that person, and do they exist, or would it be someone in the future, or will that never happen?
They can pass 40,000 or get to 40,000. You think about, you got to be a young guy. You would think possibly Steph, the way he shoots the ball, but it's not. And it's just tough because he's not finished playing. So it's only going to increase, and, that gap is only going to get bigger and bigger. So, I was just telling him in the locker room, like, one, he might have to stop breaking records because we always lose on any time he break a record. And he said the same thing. But then, two, anytime he plays, I guess this one was more of a milestone than a record. But anytime he plays, it's going to be a new milestone every time. So I don't think nobody. And he went to 8 straight finals. Which helps you play longer in the postseason. You're going to keep scoring, and then for him being the number one option on his teams, what he's able to do to score. But as of right now, I don't see anybody breaking his record.
AD, does it feel like you guys are getting closer to getting over the hump with Denver, or because the script has played out similarly as it did in the Western Conference Finals, does it kind of feel like you guys are still trying to answer the same kinds of questions in the last few minutes of the game?
In a sense, because they do the same thing, and they beat us with it every time. So, yes, we're getting closer as far as the first, I guess 42 minutes, or you could say even 44 minutes, right? And then, that last 4 minutes is just them getting to what they get to, and, they make us pay on our mistakes, like I say. Granted, they make tough shots, but they get to it every time, and it's coming. But they're a great execution team, and if you make one mistake with Jamal Murray scoring and passing ability, and same with Jokic, and then you have shooters around, Aaron Gordon on the glass ducking in the smalls if I go help, which they get to a lot with the lob, and then behind that you put a shooter in that corner. So it's like pick your poison, and they do a great job of making reads.
Last question.
AD, can you share some thoughts that you had when you saw LeBron James scoring those 40,000 points?
Yeah, we knew he was gonna get it. I thought that he missed a free throw on purpose so he can get exactly 40,000. But then he shot a 3, but it looked like he didn't want to shoot it, so he kind of hesitated. But to be able to score, 40,000, I looked up and just thought, like, that's a lot of buckets, like 40,000 points. And I laughed with Vando and AR. I'm like, I'm trying to get to 20,000. He's at 40, like double that. So, man, you look at a lot of great players that have played this game, and no one is even close to 40, you know. So, I mean, obviously it's a great moment. Obviously it'd be better if we were able to get the win, which sucks, kind of, I don't want to say ruin the moment, but put a little cloud over it. And, you know, but it's definitely a great accomplishment, you know, for a guy like that who God say that who isn't a scorer, you know, able to get 40,000, the first to ever do it in history. And it's looking like no one's ever going to be able to even get close to it. So, you know, as a friend, as a brother, teammate, you know, I'm definitely, you know, happy for him and just excited to be able to witness that live.
Yeah, Rui, the scoring was really there for you guys for much of the night, including yourself. You had 23. Where does this team have to get to just to get enough stops against Denver, and particularly on the rebounding situation?
I think the last 2 minutes of the game, you know, I think we always there, but, you know, just those last 2-3 minutes, it always they, you know, we let them, you know, score, defense, everything, whatever they want to do. And this happened again, you know, tonight, and we tried a lot of different, you know, defense on them, but, you know, it's just you know, they're a really good team. You know, everybody can score. They play for each other. You know, they always look for it. Of course, Jokic, he always, you know, looking for his teammates and all that. So, but yeah, we were right there. We were right there, but just those last 2 minutes, you know, that was a game for sure.
Is the frustration building against this Nuggets team? That's 8 straight losses for you guys against them, and, you know, obviously you guys have aspirations of making a postseason run. Like, has these losses created any sense of doubt of what could happen if you guys met again in the postseason?
I mean, not really. You know, we still, you know, we're still missing a couple of guys, you know, and we always, you know, but actually we still trying to figure it out, you know, our team, and their team is like they already said, you know, they've been playing for 6-7 years, you know, together, and they finally got it last year, you know. So it takes time, you know. It takes time, and I know we don't have much time, but we just gotta keep building the chemistry. We still have 20 games or something left, and, you know, the injury guys gonna come back, and yeah, we just gotta, you know, figure it out. You know, we gotta figure it out. It's nobody gonna help us, nobody gonna fix for us. We just gotta figure it out, and we gotta make it to the playoff first. And yeah, I think we're gonna meet them again. So we just gotta be ready for that.
どうもお疲れ様でした。こちらです。すみません。お疲れ様です。またレブロンが歴史を築くところを目の前にしましたけれども、どのように思われましたか？
そうですね。去年と同じようなほとんど同じような感じでなったんですけど、今年もすごい雰囲気もすごいチームのアリーナの中の雰囲気もすごい違う感じになって、去年のあれを思い出した感じだったんですけど。こうやってそういう人がチームメートとしてやれてるってことも僕としてもすごい嬉しいですし光栄ですし、これから彼もそういうレコードとかも気にしてると思うんですけど、その中でもやっぱり優勝を目指しているので僕もそれに助けられるように頑張っていきたいなと思います。
あともう一つすみません。今日出だしから本当にいい形で入られたんですけれども、相手がナゲッツっていうのはいつも以上にモチベーションが高まるものなのでしょうか？
そうですね。そのポストシーズン、去年のポストシーズンからもう含めて7連敗ぐらいしてるので、その中で僕らも今回は絶対勝とうって今度やってたので、今日もこういう形になってしまったんですけど、やっぱりそうですね。彼らにはすごい何回もやられてるので。この次会った時はしっかりとできたらいいなと思いました。
Rui, you mentioned you guys are still trying to figure things out, and obviously their group has been together for the most part since last year. But your starting group started against them last year in the conference finals and has some continuity together. Did you feel like with at least that unit, you guys made some progress in terms of like how you started in the first and third quarters?
Yeah, I mean, like you guys know that, you know, I know we had the same guys the whole season, but we didn't really play together until last month, you know. So we still building the chemistry. We had a lot of injuries in the beginning of the season, like, you know, changing the starting lineup and all that. So we still building the chemistry. I think I like this lineup, and we still keep doing that. And yeah, everybody, you know, we in a good rhythm. You know, I think that's the best thing we can do for now. And that the injury guys coming back, and yeah, that's why I say like we still figuring out. But yeah, it's just we got to keep the chemistry. We got to build it and just be ready for the postseason. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Rui.
Yeah.
Austin, you guys had a lead pretty late in the fourth quarter. Same thing in that game in February. What was happening the most down the stretch in those two games, and how do you guys kind of handle that from a frustration standpoint?
Yeah, I think even if you go back to last year in the playoffs, I would, other than game one, maybe. I think we, had leads late in games, third quarter, fourth quarter, and it gets down to the last, 3, 4, 5 minutes, and it's a team that really executes, and you know that going into the game, so you have to be really sharp with what you do on both ends of the court, and yeah, but ever since, the playoffs last year, they've, for the most part, beat us in those last 4 to 5 minutes, and we have to figure out what we have to do to, flip that and make those, our last 3 to 4 minutes.
It's kind of obvious considering his credentials, 2-time MVP, Finals MVP, coming off the championship, but just how did Jokic take over tonight's game from, kind of midway through the third, through the end?
Same way he takes over every game. You go into every game, I would assume, playing them, whoever you are, you go in, obviously wanting to make it tough for him, but at the end of the day, you're not going to speed him up. It's hard to block his shot. He's going to get to his spots. He's super strong, hell of a passer, and like I said, you try to make it tough for him, but you kind of expect these things going into games from him, and like I said, we got to figure out what we can do to slow him down enough to win these games.
Dan.
You mentioned the feeling kind of like similar games to the playoffs and stuff earlier this year where you're in good position late and they just kind of take over. Does it feel like a big hill to climb still against them? Based in part because what you said, like part of it is stopping that guy. Does it, like, to get over this hump, I guess, like how big of a climb is it?
Yeah, I mean, I think, I don't know how many games that they've won against us in a row now. So yeah, to beat them, you have to be really, really good in the fourth quarter. And obviously, Jamal and Jokic are, mainly what they run through in the fourth quarter. Obviously, tonight, MPJ going 10 for 10 from the, field with 25 points. They have a beautiful system around those two guys. And so, yeah, it's tough to, beat them. But, at the end of the day, nobody's going to feel sorry for us. We got to figure out, what we got to do to tighten up.
Rebounding tonight, I think it was 47 to 31. Obviously, they shot, what was it, 58%, something like that. But what do you see from a rebounding standpoint with how big they are and how tough is it to match up there?
You just got to get bodies. They're not only big, they're active. Like, they're energetic on the glass. And so it's not just a matter of just putting a body up against them. You got to hit them and move them, and other guys got to participate. And so lost a couple of crucial opportunities to hold them to one possession. And again, they capitalize off of things like that. So the biggest thing for us is to go back, look at it on film. Got a big week coming up, and it is what it is. We got to learn from this and just move on.
Darvin, when you guys were up by 1 with 2.5 to go, they went on that 9-0 run. Is the rebounding your biggest concern from what you guys did, not so much what they did?
It's the rebounding, and we had some good looks that didn't quite go down. Just mishandled the ball a few times. But yeah, the rebounding thing, we've got to clean that up. We got to be a better defensive rebounding team for sure. because we have great defensive possessions, and we just got to finish the defense. I thought we were good tonight, transition for the most part. Good in the half court. You know, obviously they hit some tough shots, but Jamal and Nikola, they're tough shot makers. And so when you do force them into a miss, Michael Porter Jr. was on fire tonight. He didn't miss a shot, which is, man, unbelievable. Like, they make you pay. And so when you are fortunate enough to get a stop or force a miss, you got to collect a rebound.
And just a quick follow-up. I know the win was the most important thing, but from a basketball standpoint, as a basketball man, what was your feeling seeing that in the second quarter when LeBron went to 40,000 in his career?
Just happy for him, man. It was a hell of an accomplishment. Wish we could have got the win to cap it off. That didn't happen, but, you know, my hat's off to him. Amazing run. That continues to this day. And, you know, everyone in our program, everyone within our organization is extremely excited and happy for him.
Coach, we all know that you're disappointed in any loss, but does this one sting or bother you just a little bit more?
I mean, it's not because of who we're playing against. Obviously, you want to you want to beat the defending champions, but we want to win any game. We need as many wins as possible at this point in time in the season. But, you know, just things that we need to get better at, that rear their ugly head. And tonight, you know, some unfortunate defensive rebounds that got away from us. I thought for the most part we played about as good as the first half you can play against this team. Second half we came out again, had some slippage in the third quarter, but you know they had guys that got it going and different guys in different segments of the game. You know, just Michael Porter shot the leather off the ball. Then Jokic, you know, his timely buckets, some of his passes he was able to make. Gordon playing behind the defense, he throws in a huge three for them. And then Jamal Murray, you know, they're a tough team, but it's just things we definitely got to get better at.
Darvin, Rui had 23, Austin had 19 and 14. What did you see from those two guys stepping up? Rui obviously taking on the Jokic challenge, and then Austin defending Jamal at times. And
guys just being aggressive, trying to help their team win, taking advantage of the different opportunities, reading the defense. And again, being aggressive. Rui was huge for us tonight. Throughout the game on both sides of the ball, Austin the same. And so one of the biggest things I thought we got better at tonight, though, was taking care of the ball. Only 7 turnovers, 7 points. That's a huge positive for us. We just, again, need to clean up our defensive rebounding.